What have you covered back there? Is it the only mirror in the house?
No, it's a portrait of me that just gets older and more covered in jizz as time goes on. It's really weird.
Today on This American Dice, another exciting episode of Masks. Here in our second episode, we join the characters in media res, in the midst of their attempt to safeguard a prison transport of Heldrake, the world's most dangerous deadly duck. From Doberman and the Pincher, Punch and Judy, and of course, Gordoom Ramsey. But can Shadowboxer, Captain Football, Manateen, and Helix stop them? Or will something terrible go on? Let's find out today on This American Dice. Gordoom Ramsey, Punch and Judy, and Doberman and the Pincher are trying to break their buddy Heldrake out of custody. And if you could get Heldrake still in custody out of here, that has thwarted their plan completely. Like if this thing's not here, then they're gonna go, oh shit. Like that foils their plan entirely.
All right. So yeah, I think Shadowboxer, knowing that from up above, will yell down. Just hopefully, whoever team members can hear her. Just like, get that truck out of here. That's who they're after. There's too many civilians here. And I think her next plan is to try and protect these civilians. But if you want to switch to someone else, or I will.
Absolutely. All right. So, either Manateen or Helix, you hear after this truck smashes into Doberman and the Pincher, and he and the dog fly into the fuck it, it's a Starbucks. They fly into the Starbucks, and you now hear like barking and insane stuff, smashing all kinds of crazy things going on in there. What do you guys do? And just whoever speaks that we'll focus on.
I'm just gonna go real mundane with it. Helix is just gonna try and get in the truck and drive it away.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you're gonna try to get into that. So I'm gonna tell you there's obstacles for sure. So
Sure.
if you just kind of walk up, the thing that you run into is I think Gordoom Ramsey kind of flings some knives at your feet, and is like, I wouldn't walk a step closer. He's always screaming.
Yeah, he's just so upset.
And he's swearing perpetually. It's like, I wouldn't fucking walk a step closer or you'd be a dog's breakfast.
Okay. All right. Should I specify some way in which I want to deal with this, or should I roll to try and get in the truck?
What's your... So you did that. He threw those things at your feet. If you try to get in this truck, it's likely he's going to try to fling more of these knives at you, or some other badness is going to come your way. Okay. You're welcome to just do that and take it if you want, but that could end poorly.
All right. So you said we're like on a suburban street, right?
You're in Halcyon City, so you're in like a major city, but you're not in kind of like hustling, bustling skyscraper Manhattan kind of area. There's big buildings nearby, but it seems more suburban for sure.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna use. Well, first of all, as the Nova, I think I'm supposed to roll to charge up my powers.
If you want to do that, you can. Yeah.
All right, I will do that.
I think that of in itself is a move.
Oh, great. Then I'll do that. It says, charge up your powers, roll plus conditions you currently have marked.
Exactly.
All right. So
that's one of the move. So one of the cool things about the Nova is the more fucked up you get, the more powerful you become.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
But the more fucked up you are.
Exactly.
All right.
Limit breaks from Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I got an 8. So that means mark a condition and hold 3. Burn.
All right. So mark a condition and hold 3. So you got to mark. You're already at a condition: afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, or insecure.
I'll say I'm insecure.
Okay. So let's, just for the character's sake, what made you insecure just now?
I'm always a little bit like nervous about showing my powers, because I have been so historically unpredictable with them, and I'm never like 100% sure what's about to happen, and I want my teammates to respect me.
Ooh, okay, love that. All right, so you now get 3 of those things, and you can choose. You can utilize those flares. So when you charge up your powers, roll plus conditions. You already did that. On a hit, hold 3, burn. Spend your burn on your flares, the flares you've chosen.
Okay. Should I do that now, or would that be my next move?
No, you can just do it right now.
Okay. All right, I'm going to use one of my chosen flares is constructs, and I am going to. So when it says spend 1 burn to create any object with your powers, do I need to limit it based on like what's available to me? Because my power that I chose was biokinesis. Can I just do whatever I want, or do I need to like come up with like a rationale for like here's the limit of what I can do?
Tell me this. What the fuck is biokinesis?
So I picture it as I can manipulate biological matter or using constructs like create it, but I don't know if I have to create it out of something or if it's just like poof.
So I think it would be more fun if you create it out of stuff, but out of stuff could be like plants, mold, bugs, that kind of thing. Whereas if you're like, I take that guy and turn him into a car, like so that's probably going to be an additional role.
Can I manipulate sentient beings?
I think that might be more of an unleash your powers kind of a deal.
Aren't these all unleashing my powers?
No, like Leigh used in unleashing his powers. Like unleash your powers is basically like, this is a crazy way to use your power. Roll this other thing.
Okay. So that would be a separate roll that's not one of the burns. Because one of the burns is Reality Storm, which basically just says engage a threat using your powers. So is that a different thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you want to make some constructs, so long as you're not like, I take Gordoom Rampy and turn him into a flesh golem that attacks Punch and Judy.
Almost essentially like what I wanted to ask you. Like, can I like change one of these people like against their will?
Let's say at the moment you could maybe do that, but it'll be a different roll. So you can't do that just with burn.
All right, let's try this out. I want to see if I can specifically change the dog, Pincher, or Doberman. I don't know. I don't want to assume which one he is.
Yeah. So I have info on all these people. If you guys ask questions about them,
so is the dog Doberman or the Pincher?
He's the, I'll say you guys know he's the Pincher.
Okay, we know the Pincher. So I want to manipulate him biologically.
Okay, we can use that same roll then on the burn rather than that you rolled for burn. We could use that same roll as an unleash your powers.
Sure, whatever works.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So then in that case, when you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, what are you trying to do with this dog?
I want to turn him into a creature that will attack his friends and looks like this.
We'll have you explain it in a second.
Sure.
So on a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. So you get to choose whether you want to mark a condition, or I'll tell you how this is unstable or temporary.
Tell me how it's unstable or temporary.
I mean, the obvious thing is it's temporary. So you're turning the Pincher into some kind of other creature temporarily to do this thing, and it's only going to do it for like a brief moment.
Sure. And
then essentially like its biological reality, while upsetting, will snap back into its original form.
Okay. Perfect.
So it will temporarily become whatever you sent, which I don't see.
You gotta hit the button in the bottom left.
Oh, there it is.
Like the chat thing. So like his
That's
stomach will open up into like this enormous set of like teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll just try and eat people with it.
Okay. Yeah, so that happens, and it just attacks the Doberman.
Yeah, that would be what I wanted to have happen.
So that actually works out pretty well, in part because for you guys, I think, because the Doberman and the Pincher were destroying the inside of this place, the inside of this Starbucks or this coffee shop, and when the Pincher suddenly its stomach opens up and its ribs become teeth, and it leaps onto the Doberman, and he's like, 9, and he's fighting he's like fighting off his best friend and life partner, this dog.
With his own wants and desires.
Yeah, he's wrestling with it, and so they're like knocking over tables, and people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! What's happening?" They're running around, and that's happening inside this place. But keep in mind, the person who was the immediate threat to you wasn't Doberman or the Pincher.
Sure,
it was Gordon Ramsay.
I just really wanted to do that. And I was like, yeah, you want to fight me? Look what I can do to your friend, or that's your canine friend.
That's pretty cool. So here's what I think goes down. Gordon Ramsay, he just says like, "You turn that into something I wouldn't even feed somebody ass backwards sideways. You're a monster, and nothing inside you's ever gonna change." And I think he berates you to the point where you actually take a powerful blow from his vicious berating.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, it is. It literally is. Yeah. So you
But he's right. Why would I do that? Why is that my first instinct, to make a horrible creature?
Yeah, he's basically says like, the thing that you did is so terrible and so disgusting. When you take a powerful blow, roll plus conditions marked. Luckily, you don't have any.
I have
go ahead and
insecure.
make a roll.
So I do have +1 condition.
Oh, that's right. You do have insecure. So luckily, you want to get low on this.
All right.
No, I think you changed it to unleashed, didn't you? So it's not.
No, but this was from. Oh, that's right. Because I didn't.
Well, yeah, you don't have it. You don't have any conditions. So luckily, you don't have any conditions. So go ahead and roll plus condition, or just a roll, straight roll.
Got it. I got 4.
You lucked out. So you mark potential.
Okay.
And Gordon Ramsay, the evil clone of Gordon Ramsay, you don't have to listen to him.
I don't. You're right.
Yeah.
I may be a kid, but, I'm my own person. I have agency.
Exactly. And so he's just yelling at you. Meanwhile, Manateen, what are you up to? Prince of the Seas, King of Cabbage.
I'm gonna land my flying my flying boat on the scene.
Okay, so Manateen has a flying boat. Absolutely, I accept that. And one of your things is that you do have a spaceship. Kind of a deal. So you have a flying boat. Is it a boat like we would, as humans, think of a ship?
As humans might think of a boat in a very one-dimensional way, of just something that floats on the water. But Atlantean boats, they float on the water, they fly through the sky, and they can go underwater. So
and they have a 6 sound system.
Yeah. Well, tell me about Manatanian boats.
Well, they're very sleek, very modern. Not a lot of edges or corners on them. Very, very white, and they are. Yeah, they also have a velvet interior.
All right. So does
Very
this look like a
comfortable.
big head of lettuce?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Right.
so a big head of lettuce. We talking iceberg? We talking romaine?
Oh, we talking romaine.
All right, so we got like a torpedo kind of a shape, but slim here, and then fans out towards the end, and but it's white. And you're coming in on your ship. And how does Manateen enter the scene?
Just try to land the ship on Gordon Ramsay.
All right, you're just gonna try to land this on top of him.
Yeah.
All right, I like how all of our characters have crushed this person with a vehicle as one of their first instincts.
Yeah.
Cool. So, in doing that, are you trying to defeat Gordon Ramsay, or are you trying to stop him from hurting Helix?
Trying to save Felix, clearly.
All right. So if you're trying to defend Helix, so when you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll plus savior. So go ahead and do that for me, Manateen.
My savior is 0, and I rolled a 12.
That's pretty good. Okay. So on a hit, you do it. So on a hit, you do that and you choose one. You can add a team to the pool. You could take influence over someone you protect, or you can clear a condition. You don't have any conditions. You can take influence further over Helix, which will trigger something, or you can just add a team to the pool.
I'm gonna add a team to the pool.
All right. We've got 5 team now. Okay, cool. So, all right. What does this look like as Gordoom Ramsey is about to has been like verbally assaulting and is about to physically assault Helix, and then all of a sudden Manateen steps in.
You hear an air horn, like from a ship, getting much louder as I just swerve right in between the two, and just the noise from the horn is just overwhelming, even for Gordoom Ramsey and his his verbal abuse. And I'm trying to think of a good quip, like get into the chopped lettuce.
All right. So you kind of like put that between the two of them and get into the chopped lettuce.
Yeah.
And Gordoom Ramsey is like, "Oh, save my bleeding heart of Romaine." And he's angry.
He's
all right.
angry.
So, meanwhile, I think the person we haven't heard from is Punch and Judy. You guys hear a lot of like yelling, and the whole time this person who has these 2 hand puppets on them has been like, "Please help! I don't know what's going on. Please help me! I don't what's happening?" You hear like other people yelling, "What's happening?" And each of them, there's like 5 or 6 other people who come into this scene. They come from around the corner, around the coffee shop, and each of them has one of these hand puppets on, and the hand puppet seems to be dragging the person. Where almost it's flying, but it has this person dangling behind them. And the people are like, "Oh my god, what's happening? Help! The Punch and Judy puppets simultaneously yell, "Seize him! Seize him!" And they're gonna attempt to swarm Captain Football. This
All
whole
right.
crew of them. So it's probably
All
like half a dozen of these people.
Good. Captain Football is not clued in on the fact that these civilians are innocent. And so he's prepared to smash them good.
All right, so when you directly engage a threat, roll plus danger.
Okay, and I've got in a china shop, when you directly engage a threat, you can cause significant collateral damage to your environment to choose an additional option, even on a miss. So I'm rolling 2d6 plus danger. Is that what you said?
Yep, you got it.
Okay. So I rolled a 12 altogether.
Okay, pretty good. So you choose 2 of these: resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
So I'm going to do additional collateral damage. So I'll take 3.
Okay.
I'm going to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. So I'm going to frighten the opposition.
Okay, well, I choose that part, but so you're going to impress, surprise, or frighten.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm going to resist or avoid their blows. And I'm going to take something from them.
Okay. So what does this look like, and what do you take?
I was thinking like one of the things you could take is like the puppets, or at least like one of the puppets.
Okay, maybe he grabs a bunch of these puppets.
Yeah,
You know what,
like
fuck-
he
no,
grabs a puppet and he like bites its head off. And
Oh,
then he
I
yells.
like that he just grabs. He wrestles with all these people,
Yeah.
and he's pretty violent about it. But he like rips the puppets off of all their hands, and all the people are like, "Oh my god, what? Where the hell am I?"
Yeah.
Like they're doing that kind of thing.
But he still thinks they're bad guys, and he just thinks that like the puppets are like a religious totem for them, and so he's like stamping up and down on the puppets and yelling like, "You don't like that, do you? You don't like it when I stomp your puppet face."
They're like all the little puppets are seem like shocked, like, "Whoa, didn't see this coming, did we?" Ah! You're fine. You like rip these puppets off these people's hands, and now several people are like, "My arm is broken." Yeah, so you're doing that, and Punch and Judy are just like, maybe it's time to go. Like on the guy who they like came out of the sewer system with, and they're like, maybe it's time to get out of here. You know what? Why don't you guys deal with the the big surprise? And they turn around and they kind of like, they don't run because again, I feel like they're kind of flying away and they're just tugging this man who's being dragged. And they're flying off down the road. And meanwhile, you guys are just left there. And again, and we're going to hop to Shadow Boxer. You heard that from Punch and Judy. And you know, Punch and Judy are known for explosives.
So, but everyone, aside from the people that Captain Football beat up, everyone is safe theoretically.
I don't think you know if they're. I don't think you know if they're safe. That you knew that the people kind of nearby in this coffee shop are in the most danger.
So Doberman and the Pincher are still fighting in the shop, and Gordon Ramsay is still on the scene as well, right?
Right. They're kind of wrestling with one another, and Gordon Ramsay was thwarted from attacking Helix further.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I mean, Shadowboxer's main concern is these people, especially if there's going to be explosions happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I gotta get down there and start trying to wrestle up these people.
All right. Cool. So it sounds like you're defending them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. So when you defend someone or something, roll plus savior.
Nope. Actually, got a 6.
Got a 6. Ooh, okay. Well, so this is the first failure that we've maybe wanted to adjust. Is there anybody who wants to help him out? You can spend a team to assist. I'm sorry, help her out. You can spend a team to assist her.
Let's see how spending a team works.
If anybody is doing it, they can tell us how they're assisting, where they could spend a team point to add +1 to Shadowboxer's roll.
How is that different from assisting as an individual?
I mean, it basically is that exact thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that is how you do this in this case.
Got it.
Yeah, there's no like, I roll to assist.
Got it. Okay.
You guys also don't have to help.
Oh, so one thing is Shadowboxer was up on the roof. Maybe if someone has an easy way for her to get down, that could work out.
I will assist Shadowboxer and like getting these people out of here once I like figure out that's what he wants to do or she wants to do, by like making a bridge out of ants from the roof down to the ground.
Just like an airplane slide down.
Yeah, exactly.
Made of ants.
And it's sort of bouncy like an airplane slide would be as well. And it's like, it's pretty uncomfortable for you. Like, this is not one of the things you wanted to do before you died.
In that case, yeah, you get a 7. So on a 7 to 9, it costs you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
Well, you know I'm going to escalate it. Absolutely.
All right. Absolutely. Okay, so you're trying
to add another. I'll just add that team back to the pool, probably.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you're adding the team back to the pool, so the team's back up at 5. All right. So you're able to get down there, and what does you getting these people to safety look like?
So I think the last panel, a few panels ago, she was like, "Oh, get those people out of here! Move that truck!" And everyone ignored her, and she's like, "God damn it! Whatever." Asterix is, and then she's like, "Little help here!" I think, and that's when Helix kind of makes this horrifying like ant bridge. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Okay, I guess that's fine," and just kind of does the, like how you'd run down a slide. Do one of those, and she's apologizing to these ants that she's stepping on for each step. She's like, "Oh, sorry. Oh no. Okay, sorry. Oh boy, sorry about that." And then just continues that momentum down into this, I guess like Starbucks, you said?
Yeah.
And I think this is when Captain Football and all these puppet monsters are fighting on one side. She's like, "All right, everyone over here. Don't worry. We're here. The team friends, all squad. Don't worry about it. Anyway, come here. We gotta get out of here."
All right. Ooh, so that is
kind of like light direct them out of here.
Okay. So would the escalation... So I have an idea for escalation. Let me know if this kind of undermines what you guys have done. Would it make sense if Gordoom Ramsey was able to bust open this truck?
I'm on board. Let's give the villains a win.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that made sense.
Okay, so you're getting everybody out of there, and everybody, like people who are cowering under tables, and like the barista who's like hiding behind the register, like, oh my god. You're able to kind of get him out of the place, and a lady who like has her baby is like, oh, well, okay, fine, and they're kind of like exiting as quickly as you can. You're like, get to safety, and while that's happening, and Doberman and the Pincher are kind of like wrestling with one another.
And I think Shadow Boxer's like, yeah, and remember who helped you with Shadow Boxer, and that guy who broke your arm was Batman.
Yeah. Yeah. So while that's happening, you see outside with a meat tenderizer, Gordoom Ramsey has smashed open the lock on the outside of the prisoner transfer thing, and after he does that for a second, and he just says like time for you to taste something rotten, and and you hear like crazy rumbling in the thing, and he goes, "Let's turn the gas up to high," and you hear from inside like crazy Donald Duck noises, and out bursts it like a torrent of flames, just a regular sized duck, and it's flying out, but it's flying out with like jets of fire coming out from behind it, and it kind of flies up into the air, and this is for sure Helldrake. Hell no. All right. And Helldrake kind of flies up, and Helldrake is literally just a duck. Just looks like a duck.
With the flying capacity of a duck? Because
flying capacity of a duck, and also fire was shooting out from behind it. This duck gets out of there. You guys are kind of looking around. Doberman and the Pincher kind of stop you see the Pincher kind of start writhing crazily, and it forms back into just a big Doberman, and the Pincher is like, "Schnitzel, what is wrong with you?" And the dog just kind of shakes it off and barks, and he looks down at his he's wearing a watch, and the dog has a collar that's beep 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 beep, and he and the dog are like, "Oh, Scheiße, we have to get out of here," and they go to run. And so they're out of here, and
are they running from the Helldrake?
They're not running from the Helldrake. They're running out of the Starbucks, and they're running away from the scene of this.
Hmm.
So meanwhile, similarly outside, Manateen and these are the people who are focusing on it. Manateen and Helix can see that Gordoom Ramsey is like, looks like dessert's gonna be on you, and he's gonna run away as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit! I'm gonna
I
tackle
hate
him.
I hate it when I get dessert on me.
Yeah. Okay. So Captain Football is gonna try to tackle Gordon Ramsay. That sounds like a directly engaging a threat. Go for it.
Okay.
So you're just running at him and tackling him?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
So roll plus
I
damage.
rolled snake eyes.
Snake eyes. All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
Nice.
So,
Now we see what happens.
yeah. So you go to do that, and as you like leap at him,
I go, my hammy.
yeah,
Clutch
he
at my hammy.
he pulls out like a chef's knife, and
Uh-huh.
he cuts the laces on your shoe, and you do absolutely like pull a muscle tremendously. You're like, oh, my leg, and you take a crazy tumble.
Ice pack.
Yeah, and you're also. Ooh, I think you're gonna have to take a condition from that.
Man.
Is that
Get
something I
that
get?
market potential too?
Yeah, so you get to market potential, so you get essentially an experience point,
Okay.
and you're gonna be taking a condition. I'll let you choose that one.
Afraid.
Afraid. Yeah. Yeah. So Gordoom Ramsey like cuts this thing, and you're like, "Oh no! Oh God! What if he knows my Achilles heel, and it's
Yeah.
my Achilles tendon."
I won't be able to play in the game this
What
weekend.
if I pull the other hammy? I'm
Yeah.
out for the season.
You kind of like
Yeah.
roll, like you could roll forward, and you're holding your leg, and Gordoom Ramsey is running off. Meanwhile, you guys see that there is a you're in Halcyon City. It's a major city. Right next door is a huge apartment building, and Heldrake's about to light this shit up.
Ooh. All right, I got a plan.
What is it?
So I want to use my power, and again, you're gonna have to help me out whether this is a burn thing or not. But I want to turn surrounding birds in the vicinity into meat missiles. They'll throw themselves like kinetic projectiles at the Drake, trying to ground him.
Okay. Sure, that sounds like something you could do, because that's one of the deals that you have.
So that's a that's a power move, not a burn move.
That sounds like a burn move, and then you could spend one of the things to do that.
Okay, so is the distinction basically, since I'm directly engaging the threat, then it's like the burn move for doing that, or something like that?
I should have actually had you hold on to that burn score from before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to just do that, and then you can do whatever with this, because a lot of them are like, roll this instead of this.
Right.
So, yeah, we should have just had you hold on to that from before, so I apologize. But
I can just do that. I rolled an 8, so I'll take Insecure and hold 3. Would that work?
absolutely.
Okay. So then I will just go ahead and use Reality Storm, which is spend 1 burn, directly engage a threat using my powers, rolling plus freak instead of plus danger.
Go for it.
And that roll is 7.
7. All right. So on a 7 with directly engage, you choose 1. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten their opposition.
Ooh, okay. I want to take away his power of flight
Okay.
by
Sure.
having
You
like
clip one of his wings in some way or another.
yeah, so like by using like the biological material of birds in the vicinity to like just throw themselves at him, like just like giant kinetic like bullets, and just try and like peg him hard enough that he falls and like
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
hang on, there's also another thing too, right? With the with Reality Storm, you cause collateral damage
perfect.
unless you spend another burn, right?
I will not spend another burn. And
Absolutely.
like fully,
That
like
works.
75% of the birds that they're flinging at him like unguided missiles are just falling into the apartment building he was heading for.
Oh, absolutely. So I think here's what goes on is that Heldrake, because again, your goal was to attack Heldrake, not defend the people in this building. So I think Heldrake opens up, like breathes fire, like, and breathe the fire on this building. So that it's like already this apartment building, like imagine like a New York, a full ass apartment building is burning already. All these birds are turned into like crazy meat projectiles that are flung at this other bird, and you hear him yell in a Donald Duck voice, and I can do the sound, I can't do the voice, and he's just like, "My brothers, no!" Like he kind of like starts going like, "Meh," but even more of these birds smash into this building, and you like rubble is falling all around, and there's a fucking hellscape going on, and you just hear, who's still in the Starbucks? Anybody? All right, so you've gotten people out of the Starbucks and you're in there, but you just you notice now that everybody's gone, it's quiet enough. In the second before like the building next door starts crashing down, you hear like bonk 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 bonk, and you look behind the counter and there's like a Punch and Judy clock, like they're hitting each other on the head and it's going bong 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 bong, and like you're like, oh shit, and then you just hear simulation stop, and like everything freezes. Heldrake is like spiraling down in like this torrent of fire. There's a building that's like about to fall on a woman who's like running away with her baby. Like off in the distance, Gordoom Ramsey is like getting in the Ramsey mobile. So all that's happening. Doberman and the Pincher are running and talking about how like soon enough it'll be legal for us to get married. Like that's all happening like off in the distance. Like so everything's frozen except for you guys. And then you hear like all right team. What did you guys call yourself?
Oh,
Super
I think
Squad?
we should
No, the Super.
We should be called Kronenkrieg.
All right, you hear all right, and like kind of at where the park is, just like there's like a seam that appears in reality itself, and like almost doors open, splitting this like holodeck-esque simulation that you guys are in, and out come four of the 5 Super Squad members, the elite, the premier team of superheroes of Halcyon City. Those include, of course, the awful Defender, the Avenging Fist, Joan of Arc, and Supreme. So you guys see like
Supreme.
you guys
Supreme
see
is so cool.
Yeah, you guys see come
Supreme,
up like
you're my hero,
like,
Supreme.
like a woman in a cape who's like floating forward. It's like a red cape. Her skin is somewhat green. She looks
Supreme,
exactly
if you
like
played football, you could play for the Patriots.
she looks exactly like a certain female celebrity. Everybody
Dame
give
Judi
me one.
Dench.
Dame Judi Dench is one.
Yeah.
Who else?
No, that's the best one. You can't get better than the Dame Judi Dench. Jesus.
Angela Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury.
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Who else?
You got to type, Austin.
Meryl Streep.
Alex, we need somebody.
She looks an awful lot like Emily Blunt.
Who is that?
Emily
bad.
Blunt?
I feel bad about saying that, but who is that?
Edge of
I like
Tomorrow.
the only one under 50 you don't know.
Yeah, the hot one.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I change mine to Angela Merkel?
Ooh.
All right. She looks exactly like Angela Merkel. So, Prime Minister or President of Germany. She looks exactly like her, but with green skin.
Chancellor.
Chancellor. I'm sorry, Chancellor Angela Merkel.
Eh.
And and not like she looks similar to her, and not like a situation of like, oh, an actress that looks like Angela Merkel played her. No, Angela Merkel exists in this world and is the Chancellor of Germany. This woman, the awful defender, looks exactly spot on, 100% like Angela Merkel, but with green skin.
All right. Gross.
So,
Awful, you might say.
so she's the awful defender. The other person is the other person is the avenging fist. He's a dark figure with a long black cloak and
Boo.
big giant fist hands.
Boo.
And
he's the one who sucks. He's the one who sucks, everyone.
and he has a voice that talks like this. Then next to him is a woman in like shining bright armor, dressed like a knight, and that's Joan of Arc. And then finally,
Had a crush on her since I was 8 years old.
There you go. And finally, next to her is Supreme, not the Supreme, just Supreme.
Oh, Supreme!
And you hear like,
you know how he got his name? By eating a bunch of Supreme Gordita Crunches at Taco Bell. He ate so many of them. Some say he ate all of them, but now they don't even sell them.
So,
I feel like we're being introduced to all these heroes through Captain Football's diary.
yeah. So Supreme is a living black Cutlass Supreme, the car.
Oh yeah.
So these four people are there, and who is the person who was most impressed by your performance in this simulation?
Captain Football.
Nope. Who was of the Super Squad? I'm sorry. Who amongst the Super Squad was most impressed by your performance?
Definitely Supreme.
Yeah.
You know, game recognized game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Supreme was like, man, that was good stuff out there. I loved how you knocked that truck into that guy. Man, keep on trucking.
All of his criticism is based around what happened to the vehicles in the scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which also didn't go very well.
like
Now that I think about it.
What is it?
It's literally a living car that's talking to you.
Oh, it's just a car. It's not humanoid at all. It's just a car.
Nope. It's literally a Cutlass Supreme that's talking.
I'm just picturing
Okay.
Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah, it's kind of Kit from Knight Rider, but he's talking to you, and he's like, man, loved what you did, knocking that dog fool back into that Starbucks.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Tight end keeping it tight, am I right?
Did you hear when I yelled tactics really loud? They didn't know what hit them.
All right,
It was a truck.
who was not only least impressed, who was most critical of you guys?
Ooh.
Oh, awful defender.
Yeah.
Awful defender. So awful defender.
Everyone else.
for sure.
Every other person.
Yeah, every reasonable witness to what transpired.
So awful defender, who again is Angela Merkel. But she doesn't have a German accent. She speaks English with an English accent as if she was from like middle America. And again, she's green, like her skin is green. And she just says, like, if this wasn't a simulation, that coffee shop would have exploded. Meanwhile, there's an apartment building filled with people on fire. Outside, there's a bunch of the victims of Punch and Judy who had arms and limbs broken, all because we couldn't control ourselves. This is a massive issue. How are we supposed to be defending this city when we can't even control our basic instincts to not go on a rampage?
Shadow Boxer is just like, you're right. We are the awful defenders.
So, I think that she's trying to adjust people's labels.
Uh-oh.
So if she's trying to adjust somebody's labels, does she adjust everybody's the same way, or can she do it individually? Nope. You know what? She's trying to adjust everybody's danger up and savior down.
Which she's trying to make us more dangerous?
She's trying to say, like, you guys are incredibly dangerous.
Oh, she's basically reinforcing like ideas of how we think of ourselves.
Exactly. Like you guys are being a menace. You're not being the heroes you need to be.
Got it. So does everyone move danger up 1 and savior down 1?
It depends. Do you want to accept that new way of thinking of yourself? If you do, that's the case.
And if we don't?
If you don't, then you can resist that. For Leigh's character, who can't move danger up anymore, that's a different thing that happens.
Do I have to resist?
If you don't resist, since you can't move it, something else will happen that's also not good.
What does
I
resisting
don't
entail?
know what it is. I just have to trust that what you say is not good. Is
Hold
in fact
on.
not good.
Austin had to find out what it was. If you have influence over, if you have blah, blah, blah. David, you want to hop in here and tell me what happened?
Condition.
Oh, you have to mark a
Well, you
condition.
just mark condition.
Oh, I see. Are the conditions permanent?
No, they're not.
Okay. Okay.
You comfort and support.
I'll resist it.
Okay. So Captain Football is resisting.
Sure.
Is anybody else resisting?
Yeah, I'll
Or I wanna
resist. I don't want to be thought of as a thoughtless, not savior person.
So Captain Football and Helix. Anybody else?
Yeah, me too.
And Manateen. Shadow Boxer. Also resisting. Okay, so all right, so everybody, when you resist, when you reject someone's influence, roll. Just straight up roll, regular roll. Nothing added to it.
All right. A 1d6 or 2d6?
2d6.
All right.
I got an 8.
All right.
7 for me.
I got a 3.
Ooh.
I got 10.
10. All right. So on a 10 plus, you choose 2. You can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. And you have to immediately act to prove this person, no, I'm not dangerous. I am a hero. You
Look
can
how-
ship.
Hold this Molotov cocktail for a second.
Yeah, look how weak
You
I
can-
am. I couldn't hurt anything.
You could shift one label up and one label down, but your choice. So you can change your labels, but you choose rather than do what she said. Or you could cancel her influence over you and take +1 forward against them.
Holy shit, that's a lot of options.
This is only on a successful roll, right?
So Alex was the only one who got a 10 plus.
Got it.
Oh, he
Everyone got
chooses 2.
eminent
Everybody
actors
else
choose
chooses 1, who got a 7 to 9.
I think Shadow Boxer will kind of take a step forward and just say, like look up to her defiantly, I guess, or maybe equal. Chancellor Merkel's pretty short, I think. I remember.
Well,
No,
she's
but
also
she's floating, right? So yeah, look up.
She's floating. Yeah.
Yeah. So looks up to her kind of defiantly and says, like, well, no. Did you watch? Because we got all the people out of that coffee shop. They could have all been killed, but I mean, Captain Football, he might have rustled them up a little bit, but he helped them be dispossessed by these awful puppets. He saved everybody. And no, I don't think anyone really died except for wildlife, which I mean, PETA, which is a super villain group in this world, they might have a problem, but otherwise,
Better get used to that.
Yeah. All right. So she just kind of stares at you. And so you've kind of like rejected her influence by kind of standing up to her.
yeah, I was trying to act to prove them wrong.
Okay. So I have a reaction for how she responds to you, but I want to see how she does this to other people in case it like goes crazy.
Manateen, do you know what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay. So you're just like, ooh, so what's Manateen's dialogue of like, this lady's opinion doesn't matter?
Manateen turns to Angela and tells her that
The
best
awful
team-
defender.
Angela, the awful defender, and says, you know, failure is the best teacher, and like next time, Gordon, Gordon Ramsay won't be so lucky.
Okay. And who else got a 7 to 9?
I did. Helix.
Go for it.
Helix will say, "Well, you're wrong, because I knew this was a simulation the whole time."
Oh, that's
Ooh,
good.
and what's Helix doing?
Yeah, remove a condition.
That's good.
And so yeah, clear condition by immediately acting to prove them wrong.
Okay, so you're just like, I knew this. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you can't control us. I just wanted to play with your, like, who really would make an ant luge as like the first thing they thought of?
Mm-hmm.
Who would make bird missiles out of birds? Like, that's messed up. You really think that? You think so lowly of us? Come on, we see right through you.
All right. So in this,
real quick,
good.
I was going to say real quick, rules wise, Alex, or should I say Manateen, you want to mark down somewhere that she doesn't have influence over you, because now she can't change your labels in the future.
Right.
I think there's a place on the Google Doc for that if you want, but just note it. And also, you get another one, right? Because you got a 10 plus. I don't know if you took 2 or just the 1.
Yeah, I just took the 1. But I could also shift one label up and a label down.
Go for it. And tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're shifting.
Give me a second. I am shifting my danger up because I'm getting a little more dangerous and a little less mundane. All right.
Okay. So in the end, you are saying you're more dangerous, but you're just less human. Less human. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like, you're not what you tell me. I'm basically what you said I was, but slightly different.
Yeah, for different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally, for Captain Football, you missed on a miss. Their words hit you hard. You're going to have to mark a condition, and I'm going to tell you how to adjust your labels.
Okay.
David, since she was already trying to tell him to adjust his labels in a particular way, does it have to be that way or a different way or what?
Nope, it can be that way or anything else.
Okay. So,
Also, you mark potential.
Yeah, so you mark potential, so you get an experience point, basically.
Okay.
You mark another condition.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that she's still pushing the same thing, so you're going to have to actually mark 2 conditions from this.
Okay. I'll take guilty and insecure.
All right, so you're angry, guilty, and insecure.
And afraid.
And afraid. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
How did you... So, first of all, why did you give me 2 conditions, and how did my labels change, if at all?
So, your labels were going to... They don't change at all.
Okay.
She was going to try to continue to move your danger up 1
now.
and your savior down, but yeah, she couldn't move your danger up.
Yeah.
So
no, we can't.
Gotcha. So, okay. So here's the deal with these people, and I want to tell you about them a little bit. In part to tell you who some of you just were able to kick influence from. So the Awful Defender is basically the Superman of this world. She's like the crazy, as far as most people consider, they're like, of all of the people in the entire world, she is arguably the person who everyone just assumes is the most powerful person in the world. And again, she looks like green Angela Merkel.
Oh man, not taking any further influence from her was a pretty good call then.
Yeah. But so she is looking down at particularly Helix and Shadow Boxer, and she kind of looks at you and just has somewhat of a stony expression for a while, and then eventually nods. And Avenging Fist, who's kind of the Batman of this world, and he has, like I said, like a fist emblem on his chest, and fuck it, he has shoulder pads that have fists on the ends of them, and his mask is just a fist. And he just says, next time you guys are gonna have to be more careful.
I'll go, ah!
Yeah, I am the knight.
And then I'll say, I'm sorry. I'm not too sure about all this.
Yeah. Joan of Arc, who is
Back when I was in middle school, I barely made the team.
and I think actually Joan of Arc steps in at that when you're like, back in middle school, I barely made the team. Joan of Arc steps in and she says, well, you see, even great things can come from humble beginnings. I myself was just a poor peasant woman in the countryside of France until a voice came unto me from the heavens and gave me these great powers. And now I am here to stop crime.
And the English.
And also, I mean, those are synonymous.
You should stop crying. I'm sorry.
I said crime. You're the one who's crying.
Yeah.
And by that I mean the bad guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right. So but here's the weird thing with this group, and I'm just going to point this out to you guys. There are 5 members of the Super Squad. Only 4 are here. The 5th member, and now you guys can like leave, and you're kind of like walking out with them as they're kind of like giving you this debrief of like, they're kind of giving you advice to a certain degree of like Capt, the awful defender says, like, tells you saving people is the key and primary goal of anyone who is a hero. A hero saves others. The fact that anyone would go in there and think that defeating bad guys is the issue is, she just says, incorrect. Your goal was to make sure those people were safe. Defeating those folks does not matter by comparison. If even one innocent person is hurt, that's on you. And she kind of like really lays that in. I think like as you're kind of walking through, you see they have kind of different like shots of them doing stuff, and the team member that's missing. Ooh, tell me a cool thing. I'm gonna ask each of you. Tell me a cool thing that one of them did. So there's 4 of these folks that are there. Each of you tell me one cool thing that one of them did. That there's like a news clipping that we see as we walk by through this justice hall.
Supreme.
Who can fly and shoot laser beams.
Yeah, originally got famous for breaking into Ferrari and putting mileage on all of their new models. You know what I mean?
I feel like I do know what you mean,
I don't
but
know what you mean.
I'm not sure we're on the same page.
So there's a thing that's like, there's a series of things that's like, is Supreme in love with these Ferraris? Is blah blah blah.
They're sure in love with him.
Ferrari's in custody after blah blah blah. Like, and it's like a person who's like, I'm the Ferrari master. like in jail.
Yeah, because this is a 2019 model.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Anybody else? All right, so we got Supreme. We've got the Awful Defender, Joan of Arc, and the event. Joan of Arc is basically Wonder Woman.
Oh, so what if Joan of Arc just like she led like D-Day or something? I assume she lived from that whole time. That what you're saying? The original.
Yep, she is literally the original Joan of Arc.
Love it.
Yeah. So in this world, she's the one who led the Normandy invasion.
Sure. Yeah, she was there. She's like,
so right next to Supreme beats or fucks Ferraris. It's like the winner of Normandy.
Yeah, it's Joan of Arc like pulling a wounded soldier out and beheading a Nazi.
The Awful Defender has solved global warming in this timeline by like flying over unused land and just planting an inordinate amount of seeds back in like the 90s. So like that was just never an issue in this world.
Oh, people were like global warming. Oh, wait, all these trees grew.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. Okay, we're set, man. Yeah. And she's just like, deforestation was an issue. Now we've solved that problem.
Yeah, it's like you guys don't fully appreciate just how big of an issue this was because I combated it so efficiently. But trust me, it would have been a big deal. But we're just like, meh.
She'll regularly talk about that, like the Sahara Desert. You mean what would have been an even bigger desert?
Yeah.
Okay, chill out.
So
yeah, it's the Sahara Arboretum now.
Is her name like the Awful Defender? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the bad defender? Okay.
So, why don't you, as the Shadow Boxer, maybe try to see the person beneath while you're really staring at her?
I got an 8 there.
Dope. So you get to choose one of those questions. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to? And how could I gain influence over you? And I'm going to use this as an excuse to give you more information about her.
I guess, how could I get influence over her?
All right. So how could you get influence over her? A couple of things. So I'll give you some background on her and I'll answer that question. So you're looking around and you see stuff about the Awful Defender. You see stuff about Joan of Arc, stuff about Supreme, about the Avenging Fist, all these stories. And the other person you see stories about is Cannon Cop, the other member of the Super Squad. And it's like the big thing that you have is Cannon Cop stops Ku Klux Cow, and he like, arresting a cow in like a Klan outfit. And so the deal is there is an additional member of this team, and this person they want to make sure that Awful Defender wants to make sure that you are on board for her version of what a hero is, specifically against his version of what a hero is.
Ooh, can't wait to meet Cannon Cop then.
So that's how you can get influence over her. Her story is, so far as people know, she's basically from another planet. And the first person she encountered was Angela Merkel. So she took the form of Angela Merkel. So Angela Merkel exists in this world and is the Chancellor of Germany. The deal is, on a visit to the United States, the first person Angela Merkel encountered... Oh, yeah, and there's like stories about like Angela Merkel encounters this egg. This like space alien egg. And it's like
she keeps it in her garage, sprays it with a Sprite.
The creature that came out of it was like just looked like her but green.
Is this when Angela Merkel was like a child, or is this in the last couple of years, or what? Or did it grow with her? Or what happened?
Yeah, it was when Angela Merkel was a child, and she grew up. They literally look exactly the same. But it was when Angela
Merkel got her all those
and was visiting the United States. Yeah, but so that's the deal with her, and they basically say like, all right, it's what day of the week is it?
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. All right. 1 week from today, we want you to come back here. And we're going to ask that as a team, you run through another simulation. This simulation is going to deal with some different issues, and we're going to need to see how how you do. And I think Avenging Fist just says like, until then, make sure you don't let yourselves be known to the public. If you have secret identities, keep those hidden. Until you're junior members, we're not responsible for making sure your identities stay secret. You guys hang out. Where?
Spencer Gifts.
Yeah. I like it.
Please.
Spencer Gifts.
I'm hearing Spencer Gifts from 2 of the 4.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It could be like the abandoned Spencer Gifts in the part of town that got destroyed by our shark escapades.
So it's in a mall that's so shitty that it's basically abandoned. You guys hang out at the Spencer Gifts, and there's a guy who is at the no, fuck it. One of you works at the Spencer Gifts, so when no one's in the store, it's your place to hang out. See you guys at the Spencer Gifts, about to hang out and meet up. We see Helix, right? Helix works at the Spencer Gifts?
Yep, that's right.
We see Helix clocking in to her shift, and we see other people kind of walking through the mall to show up. And that's where we're going to pick up our next episode, is you guys hanging out at fucking Spencer Gifts.
Love it.
With Rick and Morty and Invader Zim t-shirts and
Lava lamps
and a thing that's like, oh, is this a vibrator?
They sell like
Personal massagers.
Yeah, I guess it's like how they sell bath salts, but for vibrators for kids. Is that what Spencer Gifts was?
Yeah, bath salts are vibrators for kids. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, any thoughts?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next one.
It's an interesting system. I'm enjoying it. Definitely a bit out of it tonight, just super exhausted.
Okay, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end the recording part. If you guys are cool. Anything else for the recording?
Nope.
Stay in school. Go America. God bless you.
Football.
Good night.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us for this exciting episode of Masks here on This American Dice. Be sure to join us next week for another exciting episode with more adventure and exciting good jokes. Jokes that'll really make you laugh. The kind of jokes that you hear them and then later on you go to work and you try to tell somebody the joke in a casual conversation, but it's weird because it requires a lot more setup than you were expecting and you kind of stumble through it. And before you're even done with the setup for the joke, the person is very clearly disinterested, but you feel too invested to just stop right there. And all of a sudden, the other person in the group is like, oh my God, how much longer is this gonna go? I don't even know what they're talking about. They're literally just telling me something they heard on a podcast. It's like a TV show on the internet, but only the sound. I can't believe this. And meanwhile, you're like, oh, well, again, I'm too invested in this. I got to keep going. And you're really like, oh, you know what? There's a punchline at the end of this, and that'll really, really get it. But once you get there to the punchline, all of a sudden you think to yourself, yikes, this really isn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. And you're kind of wondering if you should just slam on the brakes. Luckily, Deborah comes in, and she's like, oh, hey, everybody, did you hear about that email that they sent? And you go, oh, my God, thank God. Thank you, Deborah. Join us next week for another exciting episode of This American Dice. This episode of Masks featured the talent of Carl as Helix, Leigh as Captain Football, Alex as Manateen, and David as Shadowboxer. Our game master was Austin. Masks is a game by Magpie Games. Additional music for this episode includes the very funly named Wichtig by Checkie Brown. Join us next week on This American Dice for more fun.
All right, is everybody here? Or are we waiting for anybody else to come back from a brisk urination?
No, but I wish I had briskly urinated.
Do you need to do that?
I had luxuriously urinated.
Oh, all right. Force me to urinate. Fine.
No, yeah. Well, if he's doing it, I'm doing it. I deserve this.
All right, guys, don't cross the streams.